Thank, thank you again. I want to bring in Congressman Al Green, Democrat of Texas, and Haipei Shue founder and president of United Chinese Americans. Hi, Shue, thank you for being with us. Congressman Green, let me go first to you. Mr. Shue, again, thank you for joining us tonight. But Congressman Green, as a Texas representative, in December, Republican state senators in Texas put forward a bill that would bar any dual citizen of all business associated with North Korea, Iran, Russia, or China from buying property in the state, citing alleged national security concerns. After outcry from Asian Americans in Texas, that bill was amended in March to remove a ban on Chinese citizens purchasing houses or residence, but a watered-down version was passed by the state Senate and sent to the Texas House last month, still bans Chinese citizens from owning certain types of property. Governor Greg Abbott says he intends to sign it, and he's not the only Republican governor considering such a ban. Congressman Green, can you tell us about the legislation you've introduced in Congress to counter what you and Mr. Shue consider a discriminatory trend against Asian Americans?
I, along with the Honorable Judy Chu, who is the chairperson of KPAC, we have introduced legislation that would preempt this area from states. States should not be in the business of deciding that citizens cannot buy land based upon citizenship or persons based upon where they're from, their citizenship. Let me tell you why. If a state does this and a nation state concludes that this is being done for some reason that is untoward, that nation state may decide to respond. And that response could develop a circumstance such that we find our two nations now at odds because of something a state within the United States has done. So this area should not be in the province of states. I believe that this is something that the federal government should deal with. This is why we've introduced legislation to do just that, to preempt this area so that states can't do it. And in so doing, we would allow an organization that has been established called the Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States, CFIUS. It is better suited for this. And if it needs more authority, Congress can give it that more authority. But it's very important that we not allow states to develop foreign policy, which is something that another nation state might likely conclude is being done.
Mr. Shue, Texas Republican lawmakers say the bill is about homeland security, but you and many Asian Americans in the state are not convinced that's what this is really entirely all about. Do I have that right?
You're absolutely right, Reverend. Thank you for having us on the show. And it's a great honor to be on the show together with the distinguished, our champion, Congressman Al Green. He has done so much for the Asian American communities. Now, as for this Texas bill, that it started with targeting all Chinese nationals who even have a green card in this country who lived here for many, many years. And that has been exempted because of the hard and long outcry from Asian American communities and from some of our business communities. So yes, I am 100% with Congressman that this bill, in the name of the national security, has done something very fishy. And a good example is that, as the Congressman mentioned, the federal agency that reviews all foreign investments has not viewed investment of a Chinese businessman who bought a lot of land for a wind farm as a national security threat. But our Texas politicians has been using that case as a whipping boy to say that this has to be stopped. So you can tell that the huge discrepancy between federal agency, how they view this case, and our state politicians who want to make a lot of political hay out of it.
Before we lose you, Mr. Shue, we're in the midst of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and cities across the country continue to report a rise in anti-Asian hate crimes post-COVID. And I get the sense that there's also politics in it, with many Republican elected officials who compete with each other on, quote, who is tougher on China, end of quote. For their own political purposes, they're raising this. You called it the civil rights movement of our generation. Explain what you mean by that.
Exactly, Reverend. This is the AAPI month for Asian American Heritage Month. And just a few days ago, it was the anniversary of the date when Chinese Exclusion Act took place. And our Congress has apologized for that historically infamous bill that targeted Chinese Americans and devastated our community. And for this bill and many other bills from different states, now, every version of that is slightly different, but most of them targets Chinese together with other nationals, foreign nationals who are living, working, study in this country. And we think that is absolutely unconstitutional. If you are American, you living abroad, you don't want the American citizen living abroad and working abroad feel that somehow we, the Americans, are being singled out for different treatment than all the rest of the people in that country. So this just doesn't cut it. This anti-Asian hate, very much driven by anti-Chinese hate, and has risen over 300 times in terms of reporting of these incidents. It is still there. It is surging, and it is a shame that during this rise of anti-Asian hate, some of our legislators in the different states would resort to this kind of posture, and instead of doing a real service to national security.
Well, any directed hate against a group or nationality is just wrong and opens all of us up to bigotry. Representative Al Green and Mr. Shue, thank you for being with us tonight.